less than 10 kills over the course of those entire 5 games. I want to see them step up as well here. I want to see Lord really take charge of this team and you know, not just be always the last player alive, not just be the bait, but be one of the players here that the rest of the team can rally around. Because we've seen Zana, we've seen Anas hit some shots, we've seen Zero go out of his way in some really interesting positioning. I just think they need to click, to get that all together. And we'll see if they can do that here today. This circle is not going to be the worst we've ever seen, but it's not going to be great. If you're B4, maybe you reconsider your military drop. Or we'll see if they continue to stick it out. They tend to be a team, along with Footballists, that just likes to eat the blue for the first couple circles.
Actually, spoiler, they're not going military in the first place. They're making a drop onto the northwest around Zarki, and that's just because the plane path. I think they made that decision. Obviously, they made the decision before they saw the circle, but they're pretty happy about that because, if they did try and make it all the way to military base off of that plane path, it would have taken a while and would have been another long rotation. That hasn't punished them too much, admittedly. They've actually fared pretty well, especially if you contrast it with the likes of Wildcard, which if they have to do a long rotation north to south, they seem to actually be a lot more uncomfortable than B4.
Yeah, but now there's a lot of teams around Georgia Pole. You've got Team Unique, you've got B4 up there too, you've got SWAT 69, you've got Loops and C9 between North and South George. So that could get a little bit contested as we go on. I'll keep an eye on that as Alpha, as well as Dream Eaters, having a bit of a time here in Yasnaya. I don't think we're going to see anything exciting. I think this is going to be a...
You say that.
It's fine.
It
was almost not fine. I was almost... Okay, for the record, it was almost not fine, but it was still fine. Kind of.
Yeah, so this is the usual sort of standoff that these teams have been employing here. I will say, if that were any other gun than a measly little sidearm, as automatic fire as it is, then I think Meku would have been in a lot more trouble there. But I like how Alpha Legends are slowly, over the course of this league, maybe a little too slowly, asserting themselves in Yasnaya and making Dream Eaters more and more uncomfortable. But over here, this is a Georgia Pole standoff that you talked about. You don't often see two teams loot up in North Georgia because rotations are garbage, but Anis with the DB does actually get a knock, and there's no one here from SWAT 69 immediately available for the revive. King's trying to find an angle, but he knows that it's going to be a risky cross going across that, double lane road?
I think you'd have to go all the way down along the bank and then loop up behind the wall. That's the only way he's going to be able to do this. You know that Unique's still not loving that situation. Too many missed shots there with the DP. He would have loved to get the down onto Buffalo while he was still on the roof before he could get through the doorway, so we could confirm the kill instantly, because now you're looking at a situation where you have one member of Unique here and 4 members of SWAT 69. They're not even going to do the play I was talking about. They just, actually it was a bait. They hard smoked him, and then he is running around the outside. That's hilarious.
Good use of the game utility. Using utility never feels good, but if it allows you to keep all 4 members up, then I say using 2, maybe 3 smokes is definitely worth it, especially because they're not looting in a low loot location. The only problem is going to be Unique. But I actually like, speaking of problems, I like Problem's angle over here just on the right of the screen, trying to set up a crossfire, making sure that Unique can't get any cute angles onto them.
I like this as well, but Unique is actually going to rotate down more towards the river here as well, into the bay. So counter angles as Nemphis is rotating around. Nemphis has been one of these players that I feel like we've seen him being involved in a lot of fights, but I don't find myself often shouting his name, as much as some of these other players necessarily. Not necessarily the one always stepping up and getting the big kills for the team. I think I'm going to need to see that here from him. Maybe I'm going to look up his stats later and see exactly how he's been doing, because Unique, realizing they couldn't confirm the kill, they don't want to, this is not the hill they want to die on. They're going to continue to loot, as you mentioned before. They're going to reset a little bit, but now, because B4 is also up to the north, it's not even like they can reset to Zarki. Like, this is a lot more congested than previously here, so we'll see if they just, out of the frying pan into the fire a little bit here.
Unique's reset wouldn't necessarily be for loot, so I don't know why they would go all the way to Zarki. I think it's just more taking the rotation path out the west side. They don't want to be driving through SWAT 69 and then through a little bit of more trouble, because that road that goes east before it curves down into Razak is actually, it can be a little congested at times. There's a couple of bridges there that are easy enough to camp. Back over here on Yasnaya, it's still the eastern duo of Dream Eaters hanging out. Actually, no, I lied. That's where the first duo were, but all 4 have grouped up on the east side of the police station. And that's actually a pretty good spot to hold down for this first circle. It's not a full commitment into Yasnaya, which would be a bit more of a questionable decision. It's good angles, and it's also, more importantly, good rotations outside of it.
Absolutely. Not committing too early is so important. Sarah Ooh, he actually hit Memphis there. Nice shots. Nice shots. Long range. Just gonna be like, hey, you're leaving? Get out of here. That's kind of what I mentioned, but as you talked about before, they're not going to give it to Zarky. They're going to go on this wide rotation. Did run into B4, but it didn't amount to anything. And now they're going to be able to try to set themselves up in the north. Wildcard, of course, is already rotating down, but they're potentially going to run into loops here. A lot of congestion outside of Yasnaya, in towards Sunken City. This could get interesting outside of Razak as well. We'll keep an eye on this as teams are rotating in from the west, because C9 is going to be joining them too. This is going to get very interesting around Razak.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually very curious that Wildcard are crossing this bridge right now, but they're not committing too far. They're just taking this gas station. This could be a very good spot for them to control, even just having immediate access to a bridge, just in case they need to cross it again, going back the other way. If we do see a northwest hardship, could be very, very impactful for them. And I love this. Sam actually spreading out, might have had eyes on that wizard tower, but Umbra's presence is going to slow him down at least for a quick moment. But I think Umbra know what's up, and they don't want to commit. They're just going to take the hilltop.
Yep.
And that is going to push Sam away. But I wonder what the rest of Wildcard are going to do. Actually, Sam, he's not peeking. He's holding this. He might be able to find a quick little cheeky angle, cheeky knock.
Yeah, actually sees Vindex there. Doesn't land the shot, though. Vindex with the DP getting the better of that exchange. Sam, uncharacteristic misstep from him there. Normally so comfortable hitting those shots, and then he runs face first into a grenade. He saw it fly over his shoulder, and he just ran into it. I think they primed another one in front of him. He was stuck between the two of them. That's a bad situation, and now suddenly it's Team Umbra with the advantage.
Yeah, I don't know why Sam peeked that aggressively when the rest of Wildcard wasn't there to assist. And now PRZ is flexing out onto the side to try and get a second angle, and Wildcard Springs going for the revive. But again, the angle from PRZ and Vindex with another prime grenade. They might have just dumped more bodies.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Wildcard. Cameron, you're 100% correct. They just gave them more food. They just gave them more food to eat. Umbra's like, yes, please, let's go and spring. I cannot believe that was not a headshot. There's the down. Vindex is in such a good position. Oh my goodness. And now with the full collapse from Umbra, look at this. They're going for a full pincer move here, collapsing onto this compound. The gas station's about to be set on fire. And if you're a Wildcard fan, that's not how you want to start this day.
And Halls, he's going for more. They're not the content with just keeping them pinned in. They want to consistently surround Wildcard. And I say this every time in the early game. This is the time to do so, because the chances of a third party having a awful angle onto you are significantly reduced compared to later on in the game. You already see a little bit of damage there go over to Slicky. But PRZ, Prolord, they have the nades, and they're pushing straight in. They do not care. They don't want to just control Wildcard. They want to kill them and take this position from them.
Acer's going to look to try and shut this down. Prime the nade, not cooked nearly long enough. Put that thing back in the oven. He's on the outside, but he's not going to be able to help. Jumping over that wall actually separated him from his team. This is a 2v1 situation. Slicky going down. It's Acer up against the world. The full collapse gets one down here. Can he find a second? Yes, he does. The 2v1, and Acer holds on with a scrap of HP. Umbra want to do this without taking any casualties. Vindex is coming in. Tokyo drifting his way into the gas station. Acer's able to get the first aid off in the 1v4 situation. Can he find himself the angle? He's trying to limit the avenues from which he can get shot. They're collapsing on him right now. Vindex finds the shot. Acer could have got it done, but he does not, and unable to thirst a single kill. Vindex going clutch to keep his team in the game.
Acer almost had that, but in the meantime, he did see the circle ship go towards the north, and there's a huge rush on the east side of Yasnaya around the Witch's Face, the winding road leading up to Kameshki. There's a couple of tiers of high ground there, and it's very interesting to see how teams want to play around it, but right now, Tempo, they're in a bit of trouble. The grenades from Alpha Legends are coming in. They already lost HH24.
He's down. He's not out. Oh, Spec unable to make the jump over, but he was able to just heave his body into the wizard tower as he dropped. Kaido is going to throw the nade in. I don't think it's good. No.
Doesn't matter. He's rushing forward. They know that there's going to be at least a quick moment of distraction while Rain was on the revive. So now he's a lot closer. I think he's getting shot from a second angle. Yeah, Tempo Storm do have a crossfire position. And so Kaito might have just put himself in a rough spot. And Faker going down too. This gives a good opportunity for Tempo to finally turn the favor back into theirs.
Baker hits the headshot, able to confirm the kill as well. What was looking so good for Alpha Legends, Tempo Storm. They're good in these scrappy situations, in these little moments where they're just 2v2. This is honestly, I think, in these small squad battles, this is really where Tempo Storm excels. Able to hold that one off angle. Kato is going to try and jump in with the Uzi. Does get the first down. Rain trying to confirm. Yes, he does. Gets the knock. Oh, and now two members of Alpha Legends still standing, but Pro Lord's coming in the third party. Hang on a second. Stealing all these kills and a breath of life potentially for Tempo Storm, but they're still caught in this crossfire, Cameron. This is not ideal.
Umbra want those points. They coming in today in 13th place. They take care of wildcard, don't lose a single player of a PRZ. That's a bit ambitious of a drive. I understand that you have a player on the high ground to the north, but you can't just give yourself up like that.
And Alpha getting back into the fight as well. Third partying the third party. But, oh my goodness, the aggression from Pro Lord. Yes, please. The player who swam his team into a 4th place finish on Vikendi yesterday is being like, guys, I don't want to just swim today. I want to do the work. Banks the nade in, but Rain perfectly positioned on the outside to deny the blast radius. In close range with the Uzi, I think Rain wins this. Pro Lord's got to do some initial damage with this grenade. He's trying to find angles to bounce it off of. I think he actually could on the other side. Yes, that's exactly what he's trying to do. But he holds it too long. Oh no, this is disastrous for Umbra. Hang on a second. That's the opening tempo needed.
That is not a mistake that you see made in Tier 1 PUBG Mobile. You need to know how long you're able to cook a grenade. You see how useful throwables are in this level of competition. That is just not a mistake that you want to see happen. Vindex here, again, has the angle and can actually help his teammate out to make sure that they don't get confirmed. But Rain, back into the top of the tower. Holes gets taken out. PRZ, he's the one that gets revived. He's able to get out with the sacrifice of his teammate.
Oh my goodness, the second one gets up. They just knock them right back down. Tempo Storm playing whack-a-mole here. Game number 1 of Erangel, and I was like, you know what, Cameron, this is going to be fun. We're going to start things off, we'll see how exciting this gets. Maybe don't need to go to 100%. Nah, we need to go to 100% because this game just keeps on giving. And Rain, he's blocking the angle from the player still sitting in Yaz. He's going to go around the outside, and he's going to try and force them off the res, but the res goes through. This is huge.
It's big. Rain going to be running into the smoke. Does he go inside the tower or stay outside? It's a constant game that he's been playing, keeping Umbra guessing on his positioning. And at the same time, Alpha Legends still have a player up, shooting off from the angle. And Rain is using that to his advantage. He knows that he's safe in this small itty-bitty pocket. He has a couple of feet, and that grenade, that goes a little wide.
I actually think he tilted himself with that. He 100%, he should have cooked that a lot longer. He could have bounced it off the wall there. That's what he was looking for. Tense is still holding this off angle. I cannot believe it. Rain has survived so long being sandwiched. Just sandwiched between Umbra and Alpha Legends. And Halls actually was, you're right, confirmed by Alpha Legends there. Old Man did pick up that kill during this scrap. The circle is rotating. Both of these teams are still in, which means this fight can continue, Cameron. Yes, please. Let's keep going.
The worry is anyone going to go through Yasnaya to push up this angle? I don't think so. And so because of that, I imagine that these teams are pretty confident in staying in this fight. That is, the ones that have a choice, and that's really only Umbra. Tempo Storm, especially Rain, he doesn't have any opportunity to leave. It's all about Umbra controlling this moment, and they might have their eyes set on the center of the circle, realizing that this fight is taking way too long, and it's just not worth using any more resources.
Yeah, Loops is just looking like they're going to drive right on by through the southern Yasnaya fields. SWAT 69 is holding that angle, and C9 up here on the cliff, like you can see now. That fight is just continuing on, but as I mentioned before, they don't have to immediately move, which means they can keep this going, but it's just such a sloppy fight from Alpha Legends and Team Umbra. I mean, the fact that Tempo's been able to hold on at all is so impressive, but still, I mean, you got to give props to Rain. Honestly, he's feeling like John Wick right now. He's just surviving.
I mean, a lot of it, to be fair, is off the back of Tensa giving him the support and giving him the information, but yeah, he survived through basically fire and flames with all the grenades that came his way, despite a couple of unfortunate misses by Umbra's grenades. But the circle shift is gonna go a medium shift again toward the northwest. The lake is no longer in play, and no one is inside because this is I'll be honest, this is my least favorite area on Erangel. It is so wide open. There are so few positions to play. It is going to be a bloodbath on the eastern side when everyone just comes running down Stalber like the antelopes in Lion King.
I don't know if memory serves. Did that go well for the antelopes? I don't actually
No, they were
remember.
fine. They were fine. It was Simba that was caught in the middle. I wonder who's going to be the Simba here. Is going to be the Knights because they're at the bottom.
Oh boy, yeah, they've got footballists coming in. They've got Yala coming in. Got Dream Eaters to the north. Oh my goodness, Pittsburgh Knights, the team we had a lot of high hopes for. They admitted yesterday they had a bit of circle luck going their way, and they're being able to play it pretty well here. All 4 members are still alive, and this is so big for this team. They got to support their top fraggers, and they, do more than just live, do more than just endure. We need to see them getting involved in this action because I don't think they've got a single kill yet.
Knights prepping more grenades. They have a lot of kills up on their doorstep if they can just grab them. Footballists, though, this is a hard team to face off against. There's a little bit of action going just to the south of them. There's going to be Nova going up against Yala. Yala's another one of those teams that really need to get a lot of work done. 2 teams at the bottom scrapping for each other, but if Footballers continue to pick these kills up against them, I mean, Footballers aren't exactly the point sponges that they were during the qualification week.
Yep.
They're still a very strong team, and they're taking the points away from the teams that desperately need them.
Yeah, this is an interesting fight. Basically, Yala and Nova went toe-to-toe, and then Footballs came in as a bit of a third party, and then they're still fighting PK during all of this. The Nova's just running for the hills. HCL, the last man standing. So, as you mentioned before, the bottom of this hill, definitely scrappy, but oh no, Pittsburgh Knights is in a terrible position. We saw it earlier on. We saw it earlier to start this, just committing too much and trying to res a down teammate, and now this might be just Pittsburgh Knights absolutely collapsing. Oh my goodness, 3 members down, and it's just Sixless, the last man standing, forced to run. Can they find the shots? Rome! Can he do it? Not enough in the clip, and Sixless survives to breathe for at least a few more moments.
Knights had no information on where Footballists were playing. You could tell that every single one of those players that got knocked in those last few seconds, they were completely by surprise. They didn't realize that there was a player on the flank to stop the cross. They didn't realize that they were so close to not allow Raven any time to get into a vehicle and drive away safely. Just complete lack of control of the situation, and they're forced to retreat. Luckily for Sixless, he was able to find basically the only hard cover in this circle. But the problem is, he's going to have to defend it from multiple teams.
I mean, PK surviving with 1 member into a final circle situation. I mean, we've all been there. And by we all, I mean Pittsburgh Knights. Pittsburgh Knights has been there a lot. I actually also going to give props to the Yala Esports. They still have all 4 alive. They've been down. Oh.
Yeah.
Look at that kill feed. What'd you just see?
I
Just
didn't.
more. That's the last player. Absolutely dead. Confirmed. That's Sixless. 100% on his own. I mean, we knew it for sure, but oh boy. That's rough for the morale of Pittsburgh Knights coming into this.
You sure? The Raven's still bleeding out, and he's still on my map.
I think he's gone.
Yeah, he's still on the map. Either way, Tempo Storm, they're the ones that go out in 12th place. It's a lot of teams removed, and it's a hard shift down towards the south. The teams all leaving Yasnaya, unfortunately unable to make it out. Even Umbra. Very, very wounded. Not even, actually, only lost 1 player, but wounded in terms of positioning and information because their focus is so heavily on Tempo Storm and Alpha Legends. And again, this part of the map, so difficult to play when you're having to come in so late.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Team Unique. I can't believe Yala just sent it that hard, thinking no one would be home. Knock, knock, who's there? They're home. It's Team Unique. 2 members are down, though. Yala was able to trade back a little bit. Nemesis is forced to rotate in from the other side. 0, cooking the nade, is able to get it off. And it connects. Absolutely solid. The intel that Zana was giving him, he's going to confirm these 2 kills. This is huge. This is absolutely massive. He's going to look to confirm the points, get his teammate up. We'll see if Zana's a bit of a bait here. Nephis is down the way. Needs to get him back behind the wall. I got to give so many props. 5 kills already for Yala Esports.
Yeah, that was a very ambitious crash onto this compound, and Unique had every opportunity to just basically full wipe them, but I think they had 1 too many players off on the outside trying to hold way too many angles this late into the game, and they get punished for it. But you said, Memphis, you haven't really been yelling his name too much. Let's see if he can't get you back on his side. In the blue, though, doesn't look like he has that many opportunities to do so. Just going to be bandaging up. He's very, very low on meds. And I think his only opportunity is if Yala just run out in front of him. But the smokes might make it more difficult for him to get a kill or a wipe onto them.
Yeah, the way these angles are as well. Just trying to find their way through the trees and the smokes, like you mentioned before. Adder, I think, did actually spot him there. Lightning, it's just holding on by a scrap of HP. I'm not sure if he has any more meds to his name. C9, not in a bad position, though. I haven't talked about them a whole lot so far this game. Only 4 kills. Bayo did get down headshot from Maxim over on B4. They're going to look to try and get him up if possible. Memphis goes down to the zone. So does Tixie. That's Team Unique eliminated as Lightning drops as well. A lot of players just trying to heel strat through this, denying their points as much as possible as the fight's breaking out now between Footballists and Team Queso. Can they get it done? Axel? Can he find the shots? Who's left alive? He's trying to identify his angles. Who's the last player left? Over the side of Footballists. But it's just Footballists going back through the smoke. What the intel he was given? He could not see that. He just commits to the vehicle and he takes down Team Queso. Oh my goodness, Levezin just does it, just goes off and keeps 2 of his teammates in the fight.
Yala versus Cloud9. The blue is pushing them closer and closer together, but Cloud9, they're focusing on multiple teams because their position gives them so many angles to shoot from. I hope that they're aware of Yala's presence, the closeness of enemy teams, and also the fact that they're going to have to cross this entire field to make it into this circle. But if they can just keep cooking heads, if they can get multiple knocks and kills, then it's going to make it a lot easier. You can see them sending it. Bearwolf trying to get the shots onto B4, but not going to be able to land it. Maxon's going to trade.
And that's exactly the same situation we saw happen before. B4 have been holding this compound still. But like you mentioned, this is a rough position for Cloud9. Only 20 seconds. They need to do the damage now. They need to get the knocks now. They need to line themselves up. They're going to try and rotate around this outs. I don't even know what the best option here. There is no good answer for Cloud9 right now. They were looking so good, but the way this circle has shifted has left them completely out to dry.
They do still have the highest ground. That's at least something to play with, and multiple vehicles. But the Blues going to start to close in. They need to actually utilize this to their advantage to force playable area into their pocket, I suppose. But this might be a start. B4 trying to deal damage to Loops, step out of cover and give Cloud9 an opportunity. But while we're saying this, Yala are still out on the side, and Loops as well. Becker drops uneven.
Loops are still in this. They have just sort of been weaseling their way in. They haven't been taking a ton of fights, but they've been still just making their presence felt now. Unevens dropping. Multiple members of C9 have dropped a lot here, and they are just up on this hill. They are just a shooting gallery right now. This is a rough spot. Everybody on C9 is just so injured. They've got to burn through all the meds they've got left, but Loops is looking at them. B4 is looking at them. Oh, man, they don't have a whole lot of options here. With 8 teams left, you know this is not the position they wanted to be in.
I would have liked to see an aggressive send onto B4's position to remove them and use the small bits of cover that they have with the rock, as well as I think maybe that little shack is playable. Maybe not, but either way, they need to create some space. Loops are doing a lot of damage to B4. B4 are rushing forward. They want to take the fight to Cloud9. They want to be able to isolate this, but it doesn't matter.
Oh. Adder, the headshot to knock them down. Cameron, you called it. This is what you wanted to see from C9, but it was B4 who initiated it. And now Loops, though, I mean, I'm looking at the positioning of the circle. Unless this hard shifts out of their favor, this is Loops looking in a fantastic position to take the win here in game number 1.
Vehicle explosions don't work out for Cloud9. They lose one player outright, and Bearwolf does get down. Pyra as well. Oh, that Dacia is not done yet. Loops have the angle. The Dacia is about to go up, I'm afraid. Becker just continuously to shoot through the smoke. Elsewhere there, Football is using this dip that we've seen Cloud9 play in the very beginning of World League to their favor, just peeking over, taking the shots.
And they may decide at some point they want to blow up that other Dacia. Sixless has been surviving in this shack for so long, and Carrillo and Becker, may their powers combine, just continuing to put down Cloud9. We're reaching the point where they're bleeding out so fast. I want to see the revives from Cloud9 at the end of this game. I want to see that stat, because oh my goodness, they have been continuing to play as a team, but Nova Esports, HCL, still in that for so long. He survived forever. The rest of his team got wiped 10 minutes ago. But he survived into this, able to take down one member of Footballist before he was eliminated himself. But Sixless, the Six God, the Snake God, I don't know what you want to call him, but he's still alive. He's still in this. But right now, Loops are looking in such a good position. Footballist, though, do have this next circle.
Sixless had a window of opportunity to push onto a moderately wounded Footballist, but now that's closed. And the circle is in the process of closing in. This shack is not in the next zone. I feel like he may have missed his opportunity to climb even higher. 4th place is a lot better than anyone expected. And it might even be up to 3rd if Loops have their way, just completely sending it, giving it to Cloud9, not giving them any opportunity to come any closer towards the zone.
We're just starting to see the utility usage. All that's left in the pockets for Cloud9 is being used. One member of Loops
This
go
needs to
down.
go now.
Trading out with Footballists, though. Pyra still alive, still able to try and range some damage down as much as possible. Pyra, the last man standing for Cloud9, trying to take down Carrillo. But no, he drops. That C9 eliminated in 4th place. This gives the opportunity for Loops to push in onto Footballists. That was the opening. That was the opportunity they needed here. As multiple members of Footballists are down, they smell blood in the water. This is Loops to a T. They get one player down. They do not stop. They do not hesitate. And it is Levazen, the player who already saved Loops once so far this game, staring down 4 members of Loops Esports, who we know in these 4v4 situations are oh so deadly. And Becker has been stepping up so much this game already. 4 kills to his name. Let's go. As Sixless is just staring on, the third party just watching this happen. Levazen is out. PK survives to 2nd place. I do not believe it, but Loops once again starting this day off strong.
At the very end,
Denies himself.